and also to the fellow Kenyans makes a very good IG when approved. Mr. Speaker, the track record of Douglas Kanja is crystal clear. His leadership in the various operations that he has done or he has led proves that he is going to make an excellent IG when confirmed by my fellow honorable members. The period he has served, Mr. Speaker, almost 4 decades in the civil service or on the police service, Mr. Speaker, shows that he has the experience that, given this opportunity, which I'm very sure you've given, and I'm confident that his experience is going to give his colleagues a great direction on their leadership. Mr. Speaker, when Douglas Kanja was a director in the DCI, he exhibited leadership and improved on criminal identifications, and DCI, as a DCI director, he proved that he is able to give good leadership. Mr. Speaker, when Douglas Kanja was in Eastern Province, he did a great thing or gave direction on policing and also, Mr. Speaker, the community engagements. Mr. Speaker, Douglas Kanja has shown great effort on ethical and integrity. For the 39 years Mr. Kanja has worked, he has not been implicated in any unethical activity. His integrity is very clear, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the findings of the Joint Committee is elaborate, and when Mr. Kanja is confirmed, I'm confident that the infrastructure of various police stations are going to improve. Mr. Speaker, I concur with the Joint Committee and associate myself with the report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Farah Malim.
Mr. Speaker, I also want to render my voice on this very, very important matter that's before us. Mr. Speaker, I have known Kanja for a few years. And I can tell you one thing, I am usually, ordinarily, normally, not too generous with compliments, but this is one man who has earned my respect, who has earned my respect in the criminal justice system. He is impeccable, he is very good, he's human, he's down to earth, and basically cares about this country the way a member of the security establishment in the country should be worried about our country. I come from an area that has got security issues. And one of the things that will impress you when you look at his CV, he started service in the Lokichokio area. The areas that essentially have got the same security situation as my area. And when you talk to him, it doesn't matter what time you call him, whenever there's an emergency, he is for sure going to call you back and he will attend to that problem personally himself. Every time I went to his office there and I said, these are the challenges we have there, he comes back to you when he has done a serious job. And always, invariably, every time, he has done something that was very patriotic and, in my opinion, exactly how somebody in that position should conduct himself and maintain the patriotism for this country, because there is nothing like a problem in the law and order. The moment you have a breakdown of law and order in a country, you don't have a country. You don't have a country. And I want him to continue with a very good job in this new position. He has our support. I can see the mood in the House is for him. I can attest to it. In my many years of being in politics and being a member of parliament, I have seen many, what do you call, he has no equal. Let me tell you one thing. He has absolutely no equal. So thank you very much, and I want to support the report of the Joint Committee, and I also implore other members of parliament here in the National Assembly to support the appointment of Kanja as the new Inspector General for our country. Thank you.
The Honorable Lydia Haika.
Asante sana Spika, hata mimi kunipatia fursa hii ili niweze kuchangia katika mjadala huu ambao ni wa kumjadili huyu Inspector Generali wa polisi. Na kwanza nataka kuanza na kupongeza komiti ambayo imekalia ripoti hii na ikatuletea hapa. Nimeona ripoti ikiwa mzuri sana, wameweza kumchunguza vyema na wametuletea ripoti ambayo ni nzuri. Speaker, nataka kusema hivi. Huyu bwana Douglas Kanja Kirocho ni mtu ambaye ni mzoefu kwa kazi yake, na tumeona akipanda madaraka kuanzia alianza kazi hii akiwa kwa daraja ndogo, amepanda madaraka mpaka akafikia mahali amefika, na hivyo ndo tunataka kuona watu wakipanda vyeo hivyo na kuungwa mkono wakiwa wamefanya vyema. Kwa ubora wake tulimjua sana wakati alikuwa katika ile operation ya wakati kulikuwa na ile mambo ya bombing pale Dusit, na kwa kweli alifanya kazi nzuri na alifanya kazi vyema kabisa. Lingine ni kwamba hatujamsikia katika mambo ya ufisadi akitajwa, kwa sababu tumejua shirika hili la polisi limekuwa likiwa tajika sana, likitajwa na likihusishwa sana na mambo mengi ya ufisadi. Lakini miaka yote hiyo ameweza kuwa katika shirika hilo, basi hajahusishwa. Hilo pia ni jambo jema na ni jambo la kupigiwa upato, na kwa hivyo nataka kuungana na wenzangu kuunga ripoti hii mkono na kumtakia kila laheri atakapopata fursa ya kuwa Inspector Generali katika taifa letu la Kenya. Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipatia fursa.
The Honorable Sarah Korere.
Shukrani Mheshimiwa Spika. Naungana na wenzangu kuunga ripoti ya kamati ambayo imewakilishwa mbele zetu. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kwamba nikiwa moja ya kamati ya usalama tuliweza kupiga darubini huyu Inspector Generali ama aliyekuwa naibu Inspector Generali, na ukweli ni kwamba Spika, umahiri na ukakamavu alionayo bwana huyu katika kutekeleza majukumu yake ni ya hali ya juu sana. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, ukitazama kwamba alianza nchi yake na amehudumia nchi yake kwa ukakamavu na pia kwa unyenyekevu. Mheshimiwa Spika, tukitazama masuala ya elimu, ukitazama kozi ambayo huyu bwana amepitia, ingewekwa pamoja na kusawasanishwa na degree anaweza kuwa pia na PhD kwa yale ambaye ameweza kusoma kama polisi. Mheshimiwa Spika, nchi hii inahitaji polisi ambaye watahudumia wananchi, kwa sababu polisi ni huduma. Na nani ataleta hii huduma? Mimi naamini huyu bwana ataweza kutekeleza hayo. Lakini kando na hayo ni kwamba mara mingi tunajipata tukiwa viongozi, tukiwa wananchi, tukiwalimbikizia lawama chungu mzima polisi kwa sababu ya kutotekeleza majukumu yao. Lakini tunakosa kutazama kwamba mara nyingi hata katika bunge hii tunapofanya bajeti, ile bajeti ya polisi wanapewa ni pesa kidogo sana. Ndio maana nataka kusema kama mmoja wa kamati ya usalama kwamba hata tunapopea huyu bwana kazi, hata tunapokuwa na matarajio chungu mzima, lazima polisi wapewe yale mambo ama yale fedha yatakayowawezesha kutekeleza majukumu yao. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, mara mingi mambo yakiharibika, kila mtu ana hukumu polisi, maneno ya haki za kibinadamu. Na mimi huwa nauliza tu swali moja, polisi sio binadamu? Polisi hana haki? Unatuma polisi akatekeleze wajibu, hana nguo rasmi ya kumkinga, labda kutokana na kurushiwa mawe, hana vifaa zile anahitaji za kutosha. Sasa huyo polisi unataka afanye nini? Tunaposema maneno haki za kibinadamu, lazima tuelewe kwamba polisi wana haki. Na hawa polisi si polisi tu, manake hamna factory ambayo inatengeneza polisi. Factory ni sisi tumezaa watoto, ni watoto wetu, ni ndugu zetu. Kwa hivyo lazima tuangalie vizuri ili nao wawe na ile motisha ya kuweza kulinda haki na usalama ya Kenya vizuri. Manake usipopatia mtu haki yake, hamna yeyote atakayepeana kile ambacho hana. Kwa hivyo ukimpa haki, atakupa haki. Ukimkataza haki yako, naye usitarajie kupata haki. Kwa hivyo ninasema hivi, Mheshimiwa Spika, naunga mkono hayo. Na ningetaka tu kusema kwa viongozi wa Kenya. Kenya sasa hivi tuko tuna shida mingi, na sidhani shida yetu moja ni kujua nani anatawala mlima ama nini. Na ningetaka kusema hivi, Mheshimiwa Spika, katika nchi hii, viongozi wa nchi hii lazima wawe ni viongozi wa kuunganisha Kenya. Na iwapo yale tunaona yataendelea vile tunayaona, ati kwamba kuna watu fulani wamekuwa sasa ni viongozi wa sehemu fulani, basi hatuna budi tubadilishe katiba. Kila region ile ilikuwa 8 iwe na naibu wake, ndio tupate watu watazungumza juu ya Kenya mzima. Sio mtu kila siku kusimama kuanzia asubuhi mpaka jioni ni mlima. Kenya iko na mlima, Kenya iko na bonde la ufa, Kenya iko na coast na kadhalika.
You must be relevant. Anyway, other members, the Honorable Joseph Kihangara Larry, MP Larry.
Mlima. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I happen to come from the Mlima that is being referred to. From the onset, Mr. Speaker, let me say that I'm a member of the Committee on Administration and Internal Security, and I sat through the approval hearing process, and I stand to support the committee report and also urge my colleagues, members, to approve the candidate, that is Mr. Kanja, for the position of the Inspector General. Mr. Speaker, from the hearing, you realize that Mr. Kanja was employed in his early 20s in the police force, and meaning that he has worked for over 30 years in the police force. Mr. Kanja has risen through the ranks, starting from the position of a constable all the way to acting Inspector General. And Mr. Speaker, having Mr. Kanja appointed as the Inspector General is a way that will boost the morale of the police officers. Reasons being that if he has risen through the ranks to become now the Inspector General of Police, one of the problems we have in the police force is that there are people who are employed as constables and they stay in that position for forever, probably until they retire. Mr. Kanja will be the man now to bring the change that officers, as they serve, he is going to eliminate discrimination. Because we are aware that transfers and promotion of police officers has not been on merit in most cases. It has been on who knows who. And I think Mr. Kanja, having gone through the ranks, is somebody who's going to help us in this particular matter by boosting the morale of the police officers. Mr. Kanja, from the hearing, understands the challenges that are faced by police officers. We have been talking about police reforms, and these reforms on issues of corruption, on issues of the welfare of the police officers, all this has not been achieved. But Mr. Kanja is the right person to do this because he understands, for example, the deplorable conditions that police live in. He understands the issues that I've mentioned on promotion and transfers, and also the issue of corruption that is a big problem in this country. He's one man during the hearing who told us that if appointed as Inspector General, one of the things they are going to do, and especially in the traffic department, is to ensure that police officers have have body cameras so they can be able to be traced where they are. You can also be able to see the actions they're taking on the roads. And this is one way of assuring Kenyans that with Mr. Kanja at the helm of the police service, we are going to see some very tremendous changes. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Kanja also has worked in very many parts of this country, as members have mentioned. He has worked in areas where we had issues of the cattle rustling, and that means he's one person also who will be able to organize a police force so that they can be able to tackle the issues on the ground, and Kenyans will be able to live in peace. So I believe Mr. Kanja is the most suitable person to hold this particular position. Congratulate him as we move to approve the position, and also urge him and ask him that he should serve Kenyans from all corners of this country, of course, without discrimination. And he did show us during the approval, when he was acting Inspector General, that he was able to handle issues raised by members of the public. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I support, and thank you.
The Honorable Ridikiri Mugambi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. From the onset, I want to identify myself with the report of the committee and say that this House to approve the candidature of Douglas Kanja Kelosho. Mr. Speaker, I have looked at the report and the structure or presentation of the report as captioned all the details of the Constitution by law. Mr. Speaker, I don't need to belabor so much on what really the report has brought us because it has been very positive right from the word go. But Mr. Speaker, we must understand the structure of security in this country because that's where the importance of the Inspector General comes in. Mr. Speaker, the end of security in this country is none other than the President of the Republic of Kenya, who owns the Security Council of this nation and where the Inspector General and the CS sit in order to advise the President on matters of security. Mr. Speaker, it is therefore very important that we recommend and approve a person who will be able to address the issues of security at the Security Council of this nation. Mr. Speaker, we must understand as a House that the only organ of security that reports directly to the President is the National Intelligence Service. The other one reports directly to the Inspector General, who is in charge of operations of the security situations in the country. Mr. Speaker, the Cabinet Secretary in charge of security is only in charge of policy But what we have witnessed in the past, Mr. Speaker, is the cabinet secretary is now been reduced into under the matters of operation. I think and I want to believe that the incoming of Douglas Kanja as the Inspector General, he will take up the responsibility of operations of the security organs in this country. Mr. Speaker, the Inspector General is in charge of 3 large departments. That is the Inspector General of Police, Deputy Inspector General of Police, and the Inspector General of Administration Police, or what they call SIPU, Critical Infrastructure Police Unit, and also now the traffic and the CID. This person in character, in experience, must be of high standard, and that's what we are seeing from the report that has been presented by the committee. I want to thank the committee for that. Mr. Speaker, the job specifications and job descriptions have been given, and I have no doubt in my mind that Douglas Kanja fit in that by character, by experience, and by identification. Mr. Speaker, we have witnessed a lot of security issues in this nation, and we need, Mr. Speaker, somebody who really is empathetic in character, somebody who is humility, somebody who is listening, somebody who is able to identify himself with the people that he is leading. One of the greatest problems that we have in the police leadership in this country is to have somebody on top there who has no clue of what the constables are going through out there. Mr. Speaker, the police of our security organs, led from the police post, they have no infrastructure. Some of them have very funny-looking uniforms. Some of them have no even weapons, and they are supposed to be police officers. I want to believe that arising from a police constable, 1985, to date, 39 years, this person can very easily identify himself with the personnel that he is leading. Because some of the staff, the way they operate, is because that somebody who is on top there has no empathy. He doesn't think about these people.